Alright, you slags! Welcome to Promotional Pmonday, the show where I hunt down talented broads and I send my army of harassers to subscribe them into oblivion. Today we have Egris, one of those, they've got boobs and stuff. Well, whatever. One of those things. I'm sure there's a word for it. Take it away, Egris.
Hey there.
Hi, babe.
Welcome to Queer Kid Stuff. I'm Lindsay, and today I'm talking to the grown-ups about chatting with your kids about sexuality.
Do you understand life?
I'll give it to them. In some ways, my critics can be correct. Young children don't need to know about sex. Prepubescent kids don't require knowledge of sex. They really don't know what any kind of sex looks like in the first place.
Correct, Lindsay. They are prepubescent kids. Puberty is when our bodies start to produce sex hormones and we start to mature into our reproductive age. And guess what? That is why sex was invented. To make more of us. Prepubescent kids are not ready to reproduce. They have a whole lot of growing up to do before that. They have a whole lot to learn before they learn about sex and sexual orientations. Learning about that is what puberty is for.
Being inclusive of queer topics in a child's learning is not enough. It is about simultaneously adopting a queer possibility into their lives as well.
Oh, so you are aware that you are indoctrinating kids.
How do you talk to children about gayness and queerness without talking about sex?
Okay, let's see how you do it.
Gay means when one person of one gender loves someone of the same gender. Like, if a boy loves a boy, they're a gay couple, and if a girl loves a girl, they're a gay couple too.
For a long time, only boys and girls could get married to each other. Girls who wanted to marry girls and boys who wanted to marry boys weren't allowed to.
Kids are not stupid. They know the difference between kids and grown-ups. Kids are boys and girls, grown-ups are men and women. And in your context, by the word love, you're talking about sexual attraction. Prepubescent kids don't know what that is yet. They understand love as a feeling that is one step up from liking. If you use the expression boys love boys, that translates to kids that boys, meaning kids their own age, like other boys. They like their friends, and you tell them that they should think that they are gay because of that. And you're telling prepubescent kids who don't have any sexual preferences yet, to label themselves with labels describing sexual orientations, especially if you're advocating for sexual minorities. And kids don't get married, men and women do. You know, grown-ups. Kids play and learn. It's not that hard. Learn these simple words.
Children understand relationships through romance.
Lindsay, relationships are more than just romantic ones. You must clarify what you're talking about. Kids know the difference of being in love. That's what grown-ups do, and just liking someone. Like, they like their parents, their siblings and friends. There are many kinds of relationships, and kids 3 to 7 may know that there are romantic relationships, don't know that romance is foreplay to sex. They get that for some weird reason the princess decides to marry the prince in the fairy tale, but the reality is that they don't really understand why.
You can wear whatever you want, no matter if you're a boy or a girl. You should wear whatever clothes make you feel like the best version of yourself. It's the same for colors and toys too. You can like whatever color or toy that makes you happy.
See, you get it. Liking something shouldn't be associated with genders, and the things you do like don't identify your gender. Liking blue doesn't mean that you're a boy, and wearing a dress don't turn you into a girl. What comes to kids that young? If you want to teach them about the sexes having equal opportunity, then the only difference should be the place you pee out of. And another thing, kids are not ready to make the decisions to become transsexuals. You know, to change their gender. They shouldn't be able to do it anyway because they lack an unbiased worldview. They only know what they've heard from their parents. They don't have the experience to make such life-altering decisions. Even teenagers don't know what they want from life. Jeez, even some adults haven't figured it out yet. And kids play pretend. They know it's just for pretend. They are just practicing for the time they grow up. So if one day they play biker mice from Mars, nobody will actually presume that they want to become mice from Mars.
But Lindsay, I still don't know if I'm a boy or a girl.
Check in your pants, Teddy.
Did you know that some people aren't boys or girls? Some people are boys, some people are girls, and some people are people. It shouldn't matter whether someone is gay or lesbian or one gender or another or both or somewhere in between. We are all just people.
At least keep your story straight, Lindsay. There are just two genders. Boys who grow into men and girls who grow into women. Who are these people you're talking about? You know that everybody who's human is people, right? But you're talking about transsexuals, right? First of all, to be trans, you have to actually transition, not just identify. And they're such a small minority that kids that young don't have to worry their heads with this stuff. When they see Blair White, they're just gonna think, look, a pretty lady. And sexual orientations are not genders.
Meaning for the word queer. Queer has to do with being different. You can be different in lots of ways. We are all a little different, or weird, or even strange, and that's a good thing. So I guess we're all a little bit queer.
Oh, hell no. First of all, stop teaching kids about stuff they don't yet even need to comprehend. This isn't even clever brainwashing. You're telling kids that if they are anyhow different from others, also known as having a personality trait of your own, they should call themselves queer. Next step is gay and non-binary and who the hell knows what shit else.
On my unicorn onesie, and I sang a brand new song for you about what the word queer means. Because who doesn't love songs about unicorns?
Again with the words, Lindsay. See, I took this topic hoping to find that you're really naive and that's why you're presenting this material so ignorantly to kids. But you don't seem to be stupid. So I'm kinda hoping that maybe you were brainwashed into this after some sort of abuse or trauma. Because the third option is that you know exactly what and how you're telling kids. And that makes you into a malicious person. And either way, you have to stop.
Very bad dog.
Girls still aren't paid as much as boys for the same job.
It's because of child labor laws and kids don't work.
Feminism is the belief that boys and girls should be treated as equals.
I believe that.
Then you're a feminist.
Goddamn, stop with the labels. Teaching kids just one fact about an ideology and encouraging them to label themselves after an entire ideology then. Really, you see nothing wrong with that? If I say that there's an undigested corn kernels in it, would you eat a pile of shit? And can't you people read? Feminism is for giving women equal rights to men, from back in the times when women didn't have rights. Egalitarianism is for equality without any gender discrimination in its definition.
LOL, FBI.
What?
LOL, FBI.
Subtle. Subtle. Now I'm starting to think that there is some kind of pro-pedo organization behind all this shit.
Bisexual is when you love people of both genders.
That's so cool. That's a lot of people to love.
Yeah, being bisexual is awesome. Pansexual is when you fall in love with all genders.
2.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, being bisexual or pansexual is really cool.
Stop brainwashing kids into thinking that it's cool and awesome. Stop giving them answers. Everyone should go through a journey of discovering their sexual orientation and identity, and then come to an answer. And most people don't discover their preferences until really late into puberty. The answer shouldn't be given, and then they will try to start fitting themselves into that. And kids that young do not have sexual orientations.
That's the very first thing doctors tell you when a new baby is born, whether they're human or bear. They tell parents that their baby is a boy or a girl. That's called a gender assignment.
Oh, shut the fuck up. There is no gender assignment. You are aware that babies are born with their genitals already attached to them, and the doctors just write down their observations.
Sometimes doctors don't assign the right genders.
Lindsay! Babies are not born without genitals. You think that after birth, doctors just pick one or the other and stick them onto them? And newborns have no idea of any gender-related expectations. All they know is how to sleep, eat, and poop. Later in lives, they are taught about gender roles by their parents. And stop telling kids they can't trust doctors.
There's also another word you should know. It's the word cisgender.
Oh, hell no. That is not a word. That word doesn't exist. Just like unicorns.
Someone who is cisgender does identify with the gender they're assigned.
So you're talking about normal people, men and women. Does the inside of your brain look something like that?
The last week has been hard for a lot of grown-ups. I'm sure it's been hard for you too. I know you are sad and scared and confused. Your grown-up probably is too.
Oh, goddamn! Fear-mongering and telling kids that they can't rely on their parents? You can't tell kids that grown-ups don't have it all together. We know it, but you can't let kids know it. They are not equipped to deal with adult problems. Adults, their parents, are the ones kids should know they can rely on. If kids see that they can't do that, they start thinking for the adult. And that's how you make really messed up, insecure people. Because they had no one to guide them and had to figure life out on their own. They have no foundation to stand on. Did this mess you up, Lindsay? Did you have to parent your parents?
I want to tell you the truth. That Donald Trump can be a mean person. The grown-ups who voted for him, they can be mean too. And the truth is that they probably will not stop being mean anytime soon.
And stop projecting onto kids that they should be afraid of absolutely everyone. Kids are naive, they can't adequately assess threats. That's just gonna make them paranoid and fuck up their brains.
Talking to your kids about queerness only seems intimidating because the resources for parents of young kids are few and far between.
Because it's not needed. Prepubescent kids don't have sexual orientations. They only know about gender roles and that's all they need to know.
Everyone is gay.
For reals?
Wake up, man. What planet are you on?
A woman! That's what they're called. I knew I would get there in the end. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, go subscribe to Egris, the female human. If you would like your content to be featured on my channel, please send what you think is your best work to me via the hashtag Promotional Pmonday, or feel free to message me on my Gmail or YouTube messages. Also, bear in mind that if you know any cool but inexplicably tiny YouTuber who you think could use some love, point them to my channel and get them to check out this series. I don't just promote shitlord videos, so seriously, whatever it is, if it's good and they are small, send it. If I like the video, I'll do my best to get you your own episode. Whatever video you do link, I will assume you are giving me permission to use it on my channel for this show unless you state otherwise. Note, I focus mainly on channels with less than 500 subscribers, and preferably channels with less than 100, as they will see the most benefit. If your content contains copyright material that might not come under fair use, I probably won't feature you. Community guidelines and all that jazz. Intros and outros are fine, as I tend to cut them off to put mine on anyway. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Egris, and I'll catch you in the next video. Brrr!